I'm going to tell you what, man, Central, we've been having some incredible services, haven't we? God has been on the move in this place. I feel so good. Let me tell you, and first, before we really get into it, can I thank you for welcoming me and my family in as family. This has been one of the best transitions we've ever made in our life, and it's been all because of you. Y'all haven't treated me like the new kid on the block. Y'all haven't treated me like the new weirdo that just walked in. Y'all let me jump right in and jump to it. Can we give it up for our incredible, incredible pastors, Pastor Daryl and Pastor Donna? Woo! Man, some good people. They went to the beach and came back by the same color as me. Feels good. I'm here with family. Hey, then I'm telling you, something's about to happen. But I tell you, some things have been happening. God has been on the move. And I'm telling you, when we've walked out of this place, we've me and my wife and my little baby boy over there, we jumped in the car, man, we could just still feel God. We'd go home, we'd walk in the house. My dog get going crazy. I thought he got the Holy Ghost. It was just all over my life. Hey, when we just sang that. But you know, man, God has been so good. But through all the things that we've been experiencing and encountering, can I be honest? It ain't been the easiest road. It seems like every step closer I get to Jesus, the harder the enemy comes after me. The harder. Anybody else been feeling it? Man, it seems like Sunday mornings, boy, I get fired up. I'm talking about Red Bull fired up. Get ready to go, boy. I can. One of my old youth pastors told me I could charge hell with a water pistol. Boy, I felt like I could take down anything. And Monday morning come. Monday morning come and the enemy just creep up and tell you, man, you know what you experienced yesterday wasn't real. You know what you experienced yesterday wasn't gonna last. It's not gonna last. What you experienced yesterday, man, it is what it is. But you know what? When you experience it, it may not last. But when you encounter it, that's something you'll never forget. That's a feeling you can't go without. So you know what? When you encounter it on Sunday, you wake up on Monday morning, you say, I'm going to encounter it again. I'm going to go after it again and again and again. Tuesday and again, Wednesday and again, Thursday and again. I'm going to go after it until I can get back to my fill up again on Sunday. I'm going after Jesus every single moment of my life. Every single moment. But you know, as I feel it, man, I've been encountering God. I've been seeing God move. Man, God is starting to move down there in that youth building, in that student center. Let me tell y'all, we've seen some amazing crowds. Parents, keep bringing your kids, please. Please, this isn't just for numbers. This isn't for pictures. This isn't for showboating. This is for a move of God. And God is wanting to work in your student's life. So you got to bring them. But I'm telling you, we've been seeing moves of God. And let me tell you something that happened that blessed my heart this Wednesday. I was preaching, and I've been preaching these past few weeks, and honestly, I just hadn't felt the need. I've done the whole, bow your head, close your eyes, raise your hand if you know. But this week something happened and it said, you know what? I want you to call them down here to the altar. I want you to really do an altar call. And I know with students, I've been in youth ministry for a while now. I know, man, they do not want to tell somebody else they're going through something. So I stood there and I fought with Jesus. Y'all ever fought with Jesus? Like literally? I'm like, no, I ain't doing it. He said, yes, you are. I'm like, no, I'm not. Yes, you are. But you better do it. All right, I'm going to do it. And I said, you know what? On the count of 3, I want y'all to come down here. And I counted to 3. Nobody moved. And I was like, 3? Did I say it right? 3? And I said, move. Man, kids start flowing to that altar. Almost 20 kids. Almost 20 kids stepped up to that altar. That did something to me because you know what? That was them making a statement in front of all their peers, in front of all their friends. They didn't care who was looking at them. They didn't care who was watching them. They said, I'm going after Jesus and I'm going now. And so these things have been happening and the chains have been falling off of certain people's lives. But I'm going to be honest. I feel like my chains have gotten heavier. I'm like, man, come on, Jesus, I thought you broke this. I thought you broke it. And man, God started speaking to me this week. And he told me something's got to break. You've been moving. God's been moving. God says, I've been speaking. I've been working. I've been doing all these things. Something's got to break. So this morning, some things are about to break. You may have been feeling what I've been feeling. Some things are about to break. But see, last night, I got to go and to put my final touches on my sermon, right? Went upstairs, turned on a song, and God started speaking to me. He says, hold up. I know I told you what to preach, but I got something different. I said, come on, God, no, not today. I can't do this. He says, no, I need you to do. So we fought again. I fight with Jesus a lot, y'all. We fought again. And he told me, he says, no, I need you. I need you to speak. If something's going to break, I need them to find the peace before it breaks. And I said, well, God. And he says, he gave me another title, so it goes along with it. I'm going to stick with it, so y'all don't freak out back there. It's still same scriptures. But it also says something's got to break, but it also says peace in your prison. Peace in your prison. Man, you ever felt like a prisoner in your own body? Prisoner in your own mind? Prisoner in your own home? Peace. We've got to find peace before things can break, before things can fall off, before we can move on from it. We've got to find peace. But let's be real. Us finding peace is probably finding the wrong kind of peace. See, we look for peace on the beach. We look for peace in a pretty park with some nice scenery. We look for peace sometimes in a relationship. We look for peace sometimes in worldly things. We look for peace in all the wrong places. And see, what God has been dealing with me this week, he's been telling me, hey, son, I need you to find true peace. And I said, okay, well, God, what is true peace? I would like to know, because I feel real good when I'm on the boat on the lake. I feel real good. I feel real good when I can jump up in my truck, go down the road, and just live life. I feel good when I can do those things. So I'm at peace. And God says, no, but that's not real peace. That peace isn't going to last. He says, tomorrow morning, you're going to deal with the same junk that you dealt with last night. So he says, I need you to find real peace. And I'm like, well, God, show me what peace is. And all I had to do was open up the good book and go to John chapter 16, verse 33, where it says, these things I have spoken to you, that in me you may have peace. In the world you will have tribulation, but be of good cheer. I have overcome the world. Now, before we break that down, I want you to really look at the part where it says, in me you may have peace. So that's telling us right there, Central, that the peace that we need, the peace that we are missing, the peace that we have been searching for is all in the one that we've been running from the longest. The peace is right there. The peace isn't in that relationship. The peace isn't in that long drive. The peace isn't on the lake on the boat. The peace is in Jesus, and all we've got to do is look to him. We've been wondering why in the world have we been experiencing these things on Sundays, but Monday that annoying, aggravating person step up in our face and mess us up for the week all over again. We've been wondering why everything we experience at church when we go home, it's like the wife or the husband didn't even hear none of it. They still doing the same old thing over and over and over again. God says, because you're looking for peace in them. You're looking for peace in that. You're looking for peace right there. And God says, in me, you may have peace. He says that our peace is in him. So once we have that, we can conquer. We can do whatever it is that we need to do. We've just got to find true peace. And we find peace in him. But see, it tells us, he warns us, God warns us. He says, in the world, you will have tribulations. You will have trial. You will have hard times. You will deal with some junk. I wish God would have just left that out. I didn't need, I didn't need that. And see, the thing about it was, God wanted me to speak on peace today. He couldn't let me speak on something that I couldn't go through. You know what I'm saying? I had to find peace before I could speak on it. So just to tell you, a little story. This Friday was my off day, but I decided to go make me a little side money, Ain't nothing wrong with a little side money. So I decided to jump in my old work truck, my tow pig. And I was having a good day, man. I start going. I'm going down the road, and I hook up my trailer, and I'm ready to go. And, I said, what, let me call my wife. Baby, come ride with me. Her and my little boy, come ride with me. We got in the truck. We went and did what we had to do. And then I've been promising her a new bedroom set. So I said, what, let's go look for you a new bedroom set today. So we're riding around, and we having a good day, man. Really good day. Get to the furniture store, saw what we liked, and then decide, we're going to keep going. Well, we had premarital counseling with the guy or the couple we were supposed to do premarital counseling with. They counseled on. So we said, well, we got a free day. Let's just hang out, So then some of our friends called and said, hey, we're free. So we hung out with them, and everything was good. It was a good Friday. A good Friday. About 11 o'clock, 11:30, we decided to go home. Went and start the truck up, let it run for a little bit. Get in it, go home. We riding, and it's all good. I look over, and normally Lauren likes to stay up and make sure I'm okay when we got a little long drive. She wants to make sure I'm not falling asleep. And I told her, I said, baby, I'm good. I'm wide awake. Go ahead, go to sleep. She says, no, I want to stay up and I want to talk to you. I said, okay, cool. So we're riding and we're just talking and we're having a good old time. And next thing you know, I had turned the radio down. You turn the radio down. Turned the radio on because I heard something. I said, whoa, what's going on? Nothing. I said, okay, well, I'll turn it on. Then I got it going. My truck go like that. I said, whoa. What in the world was that? And she's just sitting over there like she didn't feel it. And the inside, I know she was freaking out. She just didn't want to freak me out. And it does it again. I said, Lord, what in the world? And I look over and I said, my truck ain't running right. I said, look on the map. See how far we are from home. 25 minutes. I said, Lord, no. I got my baby in the back. It's 11:30 at night. We on some dark roads. I floored. I said, we going to get this thing home. We going to get this thing home. It start doing it more. I'm like, nope, I ain't stopping. And I'm freaking out, y'all. And my wife's just sitting over there. She looked at me. She says, we going to make it home. I said, we getting home. And I start saying, Lord, please get us home. Please get us home, Lord. And I can't be a liar today. Please get us home. Get us home. Next thing you know, I heard her. She says, in the name of Jesus, get us home. She started praying, boy. She said, we got to get home. So what we do, we pull into the driveway. I'm telling you, it got worse, too. My baby thought he was on a roller coaster or something. He says, I don't never want to ride in daddy's truck again. We turn on my street. We get to the mailbox, and I stop to get ready to turn in. The truck shut off. Isn't God good? Said I got home, but let me tell y'all, I got the baby out, and I took him in the house, and I said, you know what? I'm going to figure this out tonight. Went out there with my little scanner thing. I'm not a mechanic, y'all. I'm not. Went out there, tried to read what my check engine light said. Didn't say nothing. Check engine light on, but it didn't say nothing. So I'm getting mad, man. I slammed that door. Said, I'm sick of this truck. I'm sick of every time I drive it, something go wrong with it. I walk in the house, and she just as happy as all get out. I said, I'm so sick of this truck. I threw the keys down. She says, hey, God got us home. See, y'all, fellas, y'all hear the women right now. Hey, come on. Yeah, no, they get, man, I want to pick up them keys and throw them at her. Yeah, God got us home, but I still got to spend money on that truck now. So I'm mad, boy. I'm telling you, I'm sick of the truck. I go to sleep and I'm like, man, let me find peace in this. I ain't find no peace. Woke up, I said, I'm gonna call Travis, because Travis who's gonna work on my truck. But I'm gonna call the tow truck company or AAA. They're supposed to always be there, right? They told me they was gonna be there at 11:06. 1 o'clock came, I'm studying, no tow truck. 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, no tow truck. So I done called these people. We supposed to have peace, right? We supposed to show grace, right? I didn't do none of it. I got on the phone with this lady at AAA, y'all, and I'm telling you, I'm giving it to her. I'm like, you know what? This is always happening to me. Every time I call AAA, every time y'all ain't got nobody for me, blah, 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 blah. And then I get on the phone with the supervisor. She says, okay, sir, we've got a tow truck coming out to you right now. We'll be there in 60 minutes. That tow truck made it in 30 minutes. But see, all that happened, and I walked back in the house, and I literally thought to myself, why are you so upset? Why are you so upset? You're home. Your family's home. Your family's safe. Yeah, your truck's giving you issues. Yeah, you're going to have to fork out a little money, but you're good. God says, have peace in me. If I can get you home, I can handle it all. If I can take care of your family, I can handle it all. You ain't got to worry. You ain't got to get so worked up. So what are you telling me, Pastor Armand? Have peace in God. Have peace in him. But just know, trouble's going to come your way. Trouble's going to come your way just like it did for Paul and Silas. Paul and Silas were out doing the Lord's work. They were out ministering. They were out doing what God had told them to do. And the next thing you know, that aggravating person showed up. Little girl showed up. And when she showed up, she's talking about, these people, they claim to follow Christ. They claim, they're God's people. Paul's like me. He got aggravated. And he turned around and he told the spirit, he told the enemy, he says, the spirit, get out of her now. He told her, get out. And everybody got upset. So what they do with Paul, they out doing God, the Lord's work. They threw him in prison. They beat him, threw him in prison. And this is where I want to pick up in Acts chapter 16, verse 25. They threw him in prison for doing the Lord's work. Here we go with this something's got to break. They threw him in prison, and it says, but at midnight, Paul and Silas were praying and singing hymns to God. At midnight in prison, they are praying and singing hymns. So you mean to tell me you got thrown in prison for doing something that God told you to do, and you go to prison and you still praise God? How many of y'all really would do that? I'm being honest. It'd be a little hard for me too. But they got thrown in prison and they were singing and praying, and the prisoners were listening to them. Suddenly, there was a great earthquake, so that the foundations of the prison were shaken. Immediately, see, we went from suddenly to immediately. All the doors were open and everyone's chains were loosed. Praise breaks chains. Praise breaks chains. Praise breaks those things off of your life. See, Paul and Silas were doing what God told them to do, but yet they still ended up in a horrible place. They still ended up in a bad situation. You were out here doing what God has told you to do, and you don't understand why you keep going through the same thing that you've been going through, why you keep dealing with the same mess that you've been dealing with. And God is here to tell you, if you will just praise through it, if you will just lift my name up through this, I will see you through it. The chains will fall off. The chains will break. The thing that you were most worried about will turn around. But you have got to give God praise in the middle of your situation. You've got to give God praise. See, if I was Paul, I would have probably been sitting there like, well, God, why would you even put me in this mess? God, you were the one that told me to do this. Why would you put me here? If we look at it, it says, Paul and Silas were praying and singing hymns to God, and the prisoners were listening to them. Can I tell somebody in Central today? God may have you in the place that you are in just because somebody's listening to you. God may have you in the place that you're in just because somebody's watching you. It may not be for you. It don't mean that you deserve it, but somebody is listening to you, and he needs you to be a witness. He needs you to give a praise. He needs you to let them know, even though it feels like hell, I'm going to give God all my glory, all my praise. I'm going to give God everything that I've got. Because somebody is listening. I don't know who's listening in your life right now. Maybe it's your children. Maybe it's your mom and your dad. Maybe it's your brother. Maybe it's your sister. Maybe it's your coworker. But somebody is listening. And God is ready to use you to break not only your chains, but to break theirs. Because the thing about it, when the chains fell off and the chains were loosed, in 27 says, and the keeper of the prison, awaking from his sleep, he woke up, seeing that the prison doors were open, supposing the prisoners had fled, drew his sword and was about to kill himself. Boy, he really loved this job. He loved it. That man was about to kill himself just because the prisoners got free. Not me. Sorry, I'm just going to find another job. But this man was about to kill himself. He was ready to lay down his life because he thought he had failed. He was ready to give up everything that he had because he thought he had failed. He was ready to let go of everything that was going on in his life because he thought he failed. Anybody ever thought they failed and just wanted to give up? I've been there. But because of somebody like Paul and Silas, they yelled out and said, hey, we're all here. We didn't go anywhere. Yeah, we were stuck. Yeah, we were chained up. Yeah, we were in this mess. But even though the chains were loose, God told us there was still work to be done. My chains have been broken. I've been set free. So God, why am I still in this same place? Because there's still work to be done. And he needs you to sit down, shut up, and let him work. Let him work, y'all. Let him work. Central, I believe we are in a season of harvesting. We are in a season of getting everything that God promised us. You talking about, well, man, you just got here. What you talking about what God promised us? God sent me here at the right time. Pastor Darrell said it last week. God sent me and my wife here at the right time. And it's not at a time to where we just get to come in after all the work's been done. It's a time where we got to come in and say, you know what? Pastor Darrell, Pastor Donald, we're going to help you hold this thing up. And we're going to walk this thing out with you. All of my Central family, we're going to hold this thing up. And we're going to walk this thing out. We're going to see what God has for this place. Because right now, God is saying, I'm ready to work. Will you let me work? So God, here's my chains. Here's my situation. Deal with it now so we can deal with some other stuff later. So we can deal with everybody else's junk. Get me prepared now so that we can deal with it later. Now you want me to get real personal. I was in a place of feeling like I was doing the Lord's work. I was doing everything that I was supposed to be doing at the beginning of this year for God. Felt like I was in the best place. I would say at the end of last year. Felt like I was at one of the best places spiritually that I ever been. Then I got a text message from my pastor, and he said, man, me and my wife are real sick. Right before Christmas, y'all. He says, me and my wife are real sick, and we just, you know, man, just pray for us. I think we're okay. Just pray for us. And weeks went on, and my pastor's wife started to get better, but my pastor started to get worse. As he got worse, start talking about, man, how in the world? He was the most safest, safe. That man didn't go around nobody. He'd preach on Sunday morning, dip out the back door. Because he didn't want to be around nobody, because he didn't want to catch COVID. But he caught it. He ended up in the hospital, and things started looking like he started telling us things were getting better. But in all reality, things were only getting worse. So me, feeling like God had told me, hey, this is what you're supposed to do, I got online every single day. And I prayed. I would go on live on Facebook, and man, sometimes it started out 20 people watching. Next thing you know, by the end of it, we would have 7,000, 8,000 people watching online. And I'm telling y'all, man, I'm praying, I'm crying, I'm seeking after God. And I would get off, and next thing you know, the next day I'd get a bad report. So I start saying, God, what's going on? I'm doing everything you told me to do. I'm doing exactly how you told me to do it, what you told me to do. Why is things going wrong? And God told me, he says, I just need you to keep praying, keep praying, keep praying. Well, God, why am I going to keep praying if nothing is going to happen, if nothing is going to change? I'm just being real with y'all. Then I get a call that he went into cardiac arrest the day he was supposed to leave the hospital. So I start praying harder. I'm like, man, God, I know it don't look good right now, but God, I'm believing you for a miracle. I'm believing you for a miracle. 7 days later, he passed away. Can I be honest how I felt? I felt like I didn't do enough. Felt like what I did didn't work. I felt like what I was told to do, I just didn't do it right. So he died because of me. And God said, he spoke to me. He says, you're praying for a miracle, right? You're praying for healing, right? That's what he got. He may not have gotten it the way you wanted him to have it, but he got it the way I wanted him to. So as you prayed, as you seeked after me, I gave you exactly what you asked for. Was healing, was a miracle. Now he's set free, he's healed, and he's living the life that he's always wanted to live. But I felt like a prisoner because I didn't have peace about it. And then I found out, you know what, God? You did a great work. You did a great work. And then my granny, my sweet little granny, started to get worse. I had to look at her in a hospital bed, lifeless. So I start praying, and I'm the pastor of the family. And y'all know how it is to be the real Christian of the family, as they say. They call you to pray for everything. Bless the food, you got to pray. Don't none of y'all know how to pray for food? Why I got to do it every time? Man, the guy was speaking to me. Why you got to tell me? Tell your wife. But as the pastor of the family, I would get called on these Zoom calls and all this stuff to pray for my granny. And let me tell you, I prayed for my granny, and I believed what I was praying was going to happen, but it didn't happen the way I wanted it to. May 1st, my granny took her last breath. She transitioned to heaven, and let me tell y'all, that was one of the worst moments of my life. Then a few hours later, my son was born. 4 weeks early. God, what are you doing? I don't understand. I'm doing exactly what you told me to do, but yet nothing is going my way. Then he spoke and said, somebody's listening. Somebody's watching you. Central, somebody is watching you this morning. Somebody is looking at how you're making it through the situations you're going through. And God is saying, I need you to keep on the path. I need you to keep on the road. Keep doing what I've told you to do, because the walls are coming crashing down. Miracles are about to happen because you are being obedient to me. So at midnight, at the darkest time of your life, at the darkest time of the night, at the darkest time, you've got to grab a hold of Paul and Silas's spirit and say, you know what, I'm going to pray. I'm going to pray my way through this thing. I'm going to praise my way through this thing. I know I'm stuck. I know I got shackles on my feet. I know I'm chained up. I am in a place where I can't move. But the thing about it is, they forgot one thing. They forgot to shut my mouth. So now that's all I got, so I'm going to give it. God, I praise you. God, I lift you up. God, I give you all the honor. I give you all the glory. God, I know you're the all-powerful one. God, I know that you can move mountains. So I'm going to open my mouth and I'm going to watch these miracles happen. I'm going to lift my voice and shout, and I'm going to watch these walls come crashing down. Families are being put back together when you open your mouth. Marriages are being put back together when you open your mouth. Financial breakthroughs are happening when you open your mouth. Healings are coming when you open your mouth. You have the authority. You have everything that you need. You have it. Death and life. It's in the power of the tongue. My son won't know that he is called. My son won't know that he has a calling on his life. He has a purpose on his life until I tell him. I'm going to have to speak that. My wife won't know that she's beautiful. Y'all can tell her all day long. But if I don't tell her, if I don't speak that to her, she won't know. It won't be what she needs. You can't get what you need until you give God what he needs. And the thing about it is, God don't need your praise. God don't need to be lifted up because he's God. He don't need that, but he receives it. He receives it. So if you got some junk in your life, I dare you to give God praise. If you've got some things coming against you, I dare you to give God praise. If you've got chains on your life, I dare you to give God praise. Because I can promise you, it'll come, an earthquake will come in. Earthquake will come in and it'll start shaking things up. It may be scary for a moment, but it'll start shaking things up. Next thing you know, doors will start flying open. Job opportunities, promotions, things in your life that you've been praying for ages, for years, they're going to start happening. Just because you've decided to give God some praise. Just because you decided to say, God, I'm in the worst season of my life. But God, I'm going to give you all I got. Because I know for a fact you will see me through it. I know for a fact. So I just feel it right now. Can somebody give God some praise for something to happen in your life? I tell you these things so that you may have peace in me. God is telling you right now, Central, we are in a season of receiving things that we've been praying for, things that we've been fighting for, things that we have cried, all the cries that we could cry. We are in the season of receiving all of those things. This ain't it. This is just the beginning. God's just getting started. And he says, I need you in these moments to open your mouth and give me all you got so that I can do some things, so I can break some walls, so I can tear down some walls, so that I can make some miracles happen. If you will just lift your voice, I'll see these things happen. So everybody on your feet. Today, you might have come to church not realizing why you were coming to church. It's Sunday morning. I hear good things are happening at Central. I'll go just to tell everybody I went to church. I'll go see what all the hype is about. I'm going to sit in the back so nobody can see me, so I can be there in silence. But I believe God is speaking. And this message may not be for everybody, but I know it's for somebody. And this morning, I just want to ask a question. Are you ready for it to break? Are you ready for it to break? Because for so long you've been dealing with the same junk. For so long you've been dealing with the same thing, and you prayed about it. You came down to the altar last Sunday, the Sunday before. You came down. And as Pastor Gerald said, we dealt with that junk that day. And it happened. We prayed for you, and it happened. But when you got up, you picked it right back up. You said, I'm going to just hold on to it for a little bit longer. Or you got in your car and you said, well, I just don't feel right without it, so I'm just going to pick it back up. I just don't feel it. Or some of you were like, man, no, I left it there. It followed me. I got in the truck. It was right next to me. I said, bro, I left you. I don't know what it is or how it got there. But the one thing that I do know, that it can break. The one thing that I do know, that it can fall off. The one thing that I do know, that is God can wipe it away. I'm not supposed to be here today. I'm not supposed to be on this stage right now. Let me tell y'all, I have messed up way too much. Even after I knew God called me, I messed up. Even after I stepped into it, I messed up. But God says what I have for you is for you. And what I give to you, nobody else can take it away. So no matter where you've been, no matter what you said, no matter what's going on, what's for you is for you. All you've got to do is open up your mouth. And the thing that's blocking you will come crashing down. Let go of it. Let go. Let go. Let go. Open up your mouth. Central, we're not going to see God move in the city of Covington until we let God move in us. We're not going to see God heal our land until we let God do something in us. We all cry out, man, we want this world to be changed. We want this and that to happen. We want all this. Why don't you want it to happen in your life first? I'm in somebody's house right now. I'm in somebody's house. I'm sorry, I ain't kicked down the door. God did. He just told me to go in. We want to see these huge moves of God happen for everybody else. But when it come time for us to deal with our junk, we don't want no part of it. And God says, no. If you want your son to love God, God says, if you want your daughter to love me, if you want your marriage to be an image of me, if you want all that to happen, you've got to let me do it. You've got to let me in. You've got to let me take that thing that you've been holding on to. You got to let me take that and give you something so much better. You've got to let me do it. And when he does that, he'll give you peace. When he does that. See, Paul and Silas couldn't have have cried out to God and sang praises and sang hymns to him, they couldn't have done that without having peace in him. They had to have peace in him for the chains to be broken. They had to have peace in knowing that if God brought them to it, God would bring them through it. They had to have peace. They didn't just say, all right, I'm going to try this thing out. No, they knew that if I give God praise, he'll get me out of this bad situation. If I give God praise, my bank account that looks real empty right now, it'll be enough for me to make it tomorrow. If I give God praise, my child that is lost, my child that is gone, God will restore it if I just give God praise. One more last story, because this is something I need your help on. I've got a sister. I'm the youngest of my brothers and my sisters. I've got a sister that has 6 kids, 5 living. She's got a little boy, my nephew Jace. Jace is autistic, 9 years old. Jace, actually, he would speak to you. Well, I'd say maybe 1, 2 years old, he was speaking. His favorite thing to say, and I'm not just saying it because it's me, his favorite thing was to say, "Sup, Armand." And one day Jace came over. Jace didn't say what's up. One day I told Jace to say something. Jace didn't say it. Come to find out, my nephew, he was autistic and he wouldn't walk. He wouldn't use the bathroom, or he wouldn't tell you that he needed to go to the bathroom. He wasn't potty trained. He was just a baby still. 3, 4, 5 years old. He was just a baby. And I would wonder, man, I don't let people know what I deal with. I'm one of those, try to keep it all in. I try to tell y'all to let it out, but I don't do it myself. I'm just being real. I remember going to my room and saying, God, why would you do this? Why would you put this pressure not only on my sister? Why would you put this pressure on my family? Why would you do that? Knowing that I'm the one that's closest to you, I'm the one that's got to lift it. Why? I got mad at God. I got mad at him. And God I felt like God was just sitting back laughing at me. So I kept doing what I was supposed to do. I kept preaching. I kept giving God praise, but I would give God praise and say, but you ain't going to do nothing anyways. Because if you're all powerful like you say you are, you will heal my nephew. If you're all powerful like you say you are, you would take this pressure off of me. And God said, no, I won't take this pressure off of you. But if you will ask me to help you lift it, if you will ask me to help you pick this up, I will help you. I will be there for you. Your autistic nephew won't have to continue to deal with the things he's dealing with if you will just ask me to help you. Now, he has autism. He's probably going to be with his mama and our family the rest of his life. And that's hard to think about. But sometimes God puts you in situations just to let you know that he will never leave you. He'll never forsake you. He'll never let you go. You may be feeling like you're in the worst place. You don't know how to deal with it. But God says, I'm here. And if you will just ask me to come in and help you deal with it, I can do it. See, I wouldn't be able to do this all by myself. I wouldn't be able to tell you about God all by myself. I would need some backing. I would need some help. And the thing about it, Jody, if you can come in real quick. sorry I'm taking so long. I just need y'all to see something. If you look at me and Jody, you see, we different. We real different. And see, there's things that Jody can do that I can't. And there's things that I can do that Jody can't. So if you can't do what I do, what do I need you for? If I can't do what you do, what do you need me for? And God says, that's not the way to look at it. God says, if I can take two things that are different and bring them together, if I can bring them together, the things that they can do, the walls that they can knock down, the people that they can bring to Jesus, the healings that will take place, just because I locked you two together. So you may feel like there's nobody there to help you. You may feel like there's nobody there to help you get through the things that you are going through. Just call on Jesus. Just call on Jesus and watch him come in and help you lift that pressure. Help you lift that thing off. Help you just bring it up and say, you know what? Oh man, this just became a whole lot lighter. I can do this. I tell you these things so that you may have peace in me, so that things can finally break off. Chains will be broken when you speak. Chains will be broken when you shout. Chains will be broken when you move. Chains will be broken when you say, Jesus, I need you. Chains will be broken. So with everybody's eyes closed and all heads bowed, Jesus, we come before you right now in a moment, in a position where all we can do is surrender our life to you. God, we give you everything that we are. We give you everything that we have. We give you everything that we're going to be. God, this is a moment of letting you work in our lives. But God, I feel like I'm a prisoner. I feel like I'm a prisoner, but I'm cool with being a prisoner as long as I got peace. As long as I've got you, I'm okay. So God, I'm asking you to come in my life. Work in me. Do something in me. So that God, I can get through this thing. Because I know I got here with you. And I know I'll leave here with even more of you. So Jesus, I need you. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen. Come on, somebody. Let's give God some praise.